Languages are beautiful. I think we can all agree on that. And this reason, in and of itself, should be enough to justify the struggle and the time that we spend learning languages. Even though we live in Canada, which is a bilingual country, a recent census in 2011 turns out that only 17.5% of the population speaks fluently more than one language. And if we go a little bit far down south, to our cousins of the United States of America, where there is an ever-growing population of Latino, only 20% of people speak fluently more than one language. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and guests, we are surrounded by new technologies that allow us to be open to new cultures and the tongues they speak. We are given a gift that I believe we should use. And if the beauty of a language is not enough to justify learning one or more of them, let me give you a few reasons that I found that kept me going on the path that 4 years ago I decided to start when I realized that Italian was not enough. And I started, as you can see, speaking English. New languages, as I said, open yourself to new cultures. And one of the things that you can benefit from is that when you go abroad, when you go into a foreign country on vacation, you're gonna enjoy yourself even more. You start learning new words and you're going to be fascinated by that. Sometimes you find words that don't exist in your native language that can help you to express a thought or an image in a more compact, concise, or why not, even a more beautiful way. And it's so exciting when you get to use a new word or an idiom that you heard from somebody else in a conversation, or if you read something in a book. Just imagine using the word of the day. It feels amazing already. Just think about it when you do this in a brand new language. Using new words open yourself to a brand new way of thinking. For example, if I were to start a conversation with Richard, who I know is German, I could use a word that I know doesn't exist in my own language. For instance, and pardon me if I mess the pronunciation, there's this word that I believe is beautiful, it's called Fehambi, which means the feeling of being homesick for a country you've never been to. Mind though that learning a new language can be tough. You're gonna mix words, you're gonna hesitate, you're gonna stutter, even to create the most simple sentences. But if you stuck with it, you're gonna become way more proficient along the way. You're gonna use those new words that you've learned, those new sentences are gonna become more natural. Learning a new language sort of creates an hidden switch within yourself. You switch from one personality where you speak your native language to another one in your other language. And this is all because of those new words that I was telling you about before. They are all indexed in your brain and they wrap around the words of your native language. And as Charles the Great used to say, to have another language is to possess another soul. And this creates a sort of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde scenario, where you are sort of split of personality, and you keep on fighting between your other self and yourself, but they end up being blended together in this new reborn personality. It's an extremely rewarding experience, and also you will find yourself to have a lot of humility, because you're going to make a lot of mistakes. But if there is one thing that I learned by learning a new language, is that people are really forgiving. They're gonna give you a hand along the way. They might squint at times, they might ask you to repeat a word because you messed it up with your pronunciation, but mostly they're gonna tag along with you on your journey. There is a lot of content that is constantly being created around us in a language that is not English, and it's not being translated. We are basically just missing out. The world around us is shrinking, if you really think about it. I say that you should pick a language now. Doesn't matter which one it is. And more than those reasons I just enumerated, you're gonna see your own culture from a different point of view by learning about a new culture. You're gonna be way more attractive to an employer. And you might also learn new technologies, a new way of learning along the way. I believe that the benefits that you get from learning a new language as far outweigh the energy, the time, and the money that you spend in learning a new language. There is a lot to win and very little to lose. Just look at it from the Frank Smith point of view. One language sets you in a corridor for life. 2 languages open every door along the way.